up and pin that in the comment up there, as well as Twitch and stuff. So right now, they are at 921. They are wanting to make 10K, even though the goal is 2,500. But come on, this is how dreams happen. So let's just go do this thing. So yeah, tell us about how Fibber came about. Because usually it's a general story about like guy meets girl, guy likes girl, guy wants to fucking lie to girl to say that his dick is bigger than anything else. So you go tell us like what caused Fibber to happen.
I wanted to capture. I was inspired by my favorite comic when I was little was Calvin and Hobbes. So I was inspired by Bill Watterson's work, and I wanted something linear, simple. I was getting bogged down in a lot of detail in my other comics, which was slowing production on a lot of comics.
Yeah.
So then I said, let's get back to basics. Let's tell a simple short story that turned into 3 issues now. But I wanted to capture a couple of things. One, Bill Watterson's vibe, it's its own thing, Fibber, but it does have a bit of that vibe. At least it made me want to go on a space adventure with Spaceman Spiff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so I wanted to capture that. But then I also wanted to make it just a touch older, and then what was going on with me at around the time of like the tone I wanted to capture, which is like kind of teen adult. I remembered in school there was a girl I really liked, and she came over on like a play date. Like her parents brought her to hang out with my parents.
Oh, that's funny.
And we were allowed to sit in my room with the door open.
Oh.
But it was like a little mini kid date, and we had a great time. I was very excited. She liked me. I liked her. At that time, all the little boys were lying about having sex in my school. And I thought I was the only one that hadn't. So when they asked me, did you hook up with her? I figured, I can't say sex, that's too extreme. But I could say maybe we made out. So I'm like, yeah, we made out a little bit, right? Just thinking it would placate the guys without ruining her honor, right? And what did one of my jerk-off friends do? He got up and ran over to the girl to confront her about whether or not it was true. And then she ran over to confront me in the quiet library about why did I lie about it. And it was really just to kind of fit in, get people off my back. I liked the girl. I wanted to feel successful in the date. And it was just this snowball thing that fucked up my like middle school life kind of deal. It's funny now, you know what I mean? And actually, I know the girl. We laugh about it. But at the same time, like it was like 30 years ago. It was a long time ago. I'm 40, so it's not a big deal. I'm not traumatized. I didn't write Fibber to get at this trauma. I just thought it was funny that this dude tells a story and his whole life turns to shit. So in Benny Zarlak III's case, he's a wallflower who gets no attention from females or anybody else for that matter. He's not an especially outstanding derf in any way.
Is that the alien race's name, the derf?
Yeah, that's their race. On Snicklefritz is the planet that they live on. And derfs are like shrewd. They have shrewd business sense. They're always outraged. They hate traffic. They all work in big call centers. They're real bitchy, you know, as a derf. Yeah. And they're not good for the environment, but they have a stable society.
Right.
You know, fairly peaceful.
Nothing too crazy, yeah. Very
it's just
peaceful.
they're assholes, mainly.
Oh, they're just kind of like miserable and they kind of live their lives or something.
They're kind of jerks. They're like inner city jerks, you know?
Right. Okay. Like you imagine the word derf just kind of brings up that whole...
And Benny's dead broke. And he gets fired from his telemarketing job right in the beginning. I don't even think this is a spoiler. It's just the setup.
Yeah.
And he goes to spend his last $5 on food. You see the shitty neighborhood he lives in based on where I used to live.
In the ghetto.
I've always lived in ghettos my whole life.
Are you in a ghetto now?
No, now we live in a nice place because it's like I'm old and that's what happens when you get old. You just gravitate towards success or I don't know what happens to everybody else. But
it makes me think of like Grain Fried Tomatoes where she says like where she hits the car and they get all like fucking going like they say, why are you doing this? She says, honey, I'm older and I have more insurance. Like I don't give a fuck anymore. I've got more.
You get that vibe about you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've been through my share of shit myself. I mean, I don't want to get into like the whole thing, whose shit is worse or something. It's just, I've been through my share of shit. And I think when you hit our age, we're just kind of like, fuck you. I don't care.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong. Hood life is fun. You know, I have a lot of great friends. I have friends come on the podcast from that time in my life and we love it. Some of them are still there and they're fine. And it's not like a bad thing. It's just like I came from a place where I wouldn't want to have a family or do any of that shit. Yeah. Plus, you know, if things get bad, you're stuck in a weird spot.
Yeah.
I wanted to be out in the country a bit more. I like the outdoors. I like fresh air. I wanted to be able to have a family. And I also wanted to have friends that don't steal my shit anymore.
Oh
And
yeah,
I thought
that's great.
That would be cool, right?
I can relate to that. I had friends that were assholes too. Like
I love them, but you can't turn your back on some of them. So
Right, you gotta keep your eyes open, sleep with one eye open.
yeah. And I think it informs my writing, and it makes me more colorful, and I'm not like I'm not just a straight narrow stiff that just decided to become a writer. I had a lot of stories, so it was like maybe I should be a writer.
Yeah.
So, but Fibber tries to capture that, and I wanted to kind of basically Benny Zarlak III gets mistaken by a pretty girl for being a famous space explorer that's been missing for a little while, and he's like the hero of the planet. His name is Jerv McLandis, and he is the hero of the planet. He looks just like our Benny, our protagonist. But he has a handlebar mustache. That's the only real difference.
Oh, kind of like a stereotypical, like I'm a hero fucking guy.
Exactly, and he is. I mean, he's a combination of, like, from what we understand, he's not really featured in issues 1 through 3, but he's alluded to. And I don't
Everybody's
know.
amazed.
Is it a
by him.
spoiler to say what happened to Jerv?
I mean, you can. I don't know. It's not really. It's pretty early in.
Well,
there.
Jerv is missing. Okay,
Yeah,
he's the
that's what
big
I'll say.
hero of Snicklefritz, and he is missing. And this pretty Durfette mistakes Benny for him, and she goes, Jerv McLandis, and he's looking around like, who are you talking about? She's like, oh my God, I'm a huge fan. Can I get an autograph? And Benny, rather than being like, hey, miss, you have the wrong guy, and going back into obscurity, he asks if she's got something to write with.
Yeah. He thinks, and then he's like, okay.
It's one little fib. He just wants a little bit of love. He just needs a little attention. This guy's shit on. He's an orphan. We show that he's an orphan.
Oh.
Okay? In this. He lost both parents right away. And he went to the orphanage. He's had a rough upbringing. Like the whole... You feel bad for Benny.
Right.
And then
he's got no luck his whole life.
No. And he tells this one lie because she's cute. And he just wants to talk to a cute girl. And it could potentially bring about the end of all civilized life on Snicklefritz.
Yeah.
You're like, God damn it.
Yeah. So basically, nearby, there's like an officer nearby that hears Jerv McLandis has popped up, and he goes, "Sir, we got to get you back to headquarters right away." And he grabs Benny and he just hauls him to HQ. And rather than anyone noticing this is a different guy, everybody's like, "Oh, you shaved your mustache. Listen, we got an emergency mission. Get out there, soldier." And they shoot him into space on a spaceship named Bessie that has her own AI. That I'm screaming. This is how excited I am.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry for yelling. This
is not yelling. I grew up in a Korean home, so like yelling.
Yeah. So anyway, he's shot into space, and Bessie is also a main character. She's the ship's AI. Bessie is the only one that is aware this is not Jerv McLandis, and for reasons unknown, goes along with the ruse. Calls him sir the whole time, follows his instructions, keeps him safe.
Yeah.
But Bessie is basically his safety net to help him Forrest Gump his way through these space missions as an imposter of a true hero. And he's not a hero, and he's not qualified. He bumbles every mission.
Right, and she's basically the only reason why he's getting through it.
He's even alive, yeah.
Damn.
So that's Fibber.
Hey Quentin, hey Rose, hey Steven. So I've had a bunch of people come in, and Quentin comes on, and he's like, demon bitch, demon bitch, demon bitch.
Show some drawing.
Yeah, well, I'm drawing right now. Like, this is the drawing right up here. And if you go in the live, you can say hi to other people, too. But, yeah, definitely. We'll really enjoy the story. They're really, like, Quentin and Philip are going like, oh, my God, this story sounds awesome. So they really
thank you
like
guys.
Yeah, well, I pinned up your guys' I pinned it up in the comments, your Kickstarter. So if you guys want to support the Kickstarter, please do so. They're at 927. They want to hit 10K. I know it says 25K, but 2,500. But come on, we're a country that made Disneyland. Let's go fucking go with that shit. So
yeah, we're lowballing that number too. We wanted to make this a safe Kickstarter.
Yeah.
But we certainly want to hit stretch goals. Yes.
Well, how many Kickstarters have you guys run?
This is our second. We ran one for Unkillable Joe, and I was very happy when we were funded in like 5 hours or something.
It was amazing. That was like
we undershot that one too, though. We kept it low. One thing I did learn about Kickstarter, and you certainly helped me with this, is you're not going to make what you think you're going to make, even if you make it. And, there's a shitload of fees. You got to satisfy all the rewards. Sometimes you undershoot shipping here and there, or packaging, or there's a delay at the printers. Now you got to send everybody a message. And so there's bullshit that goes with a Kickstarter.
Oh, yeah, I know it.
And you don't make as much.
You're going through it now.
So for my second novel that I'm writing, we're just going to do a soft release on Amazon, and I'm just going to hit everybody up for my mailing list and go straight there. I think we'll make... So you don't need to kickstart everything is what I'm getting at. We are kickstarting the graphic novel for Fibber.
Yeah.
But that's only because I didn't want to pay for it.
No,
So
that's
we
the
just
point
want to
of
get it
Kickstarter.
out there, that's all.
That's the point of Kickstarter. Like for me, I kind of went, okay, because what I do, like even though Kickstarter says they take 5%, right? But the problem is that they say, well, the credit card charges, if they're over this much, we add this much percentage. So what I do is that I subtract what I actually get. So if I get this, because you'll get chargebacks. So if I get this real number minus what they give me minus fees, then I'll calculate the percentage. So so it's about, I calculate actually kind of higher. I do 8 to 9%. That gives me a wider buffer. And for shipping, I would always like overestimate like about $1 or $2. That way, yeah, that's the way I do it because I mean, it's not a really like bad thing because like you don't know sometimes which country they're going to want you to ship to.
Right.
So like there's that, there's also insurance, but not only that, it'll get you to their goal quicker because that'll go more towards what you want. So I said, okay. So I'm planning to run, this is my soft opening to the Kickstarter because I'm still completing the card deck. But since there's so many con cancellations, I'm like, well, fuck it, I'll just make another Kickstarter.
Yeah, why not?
We have to rely on it more now that there are so many cancellations.
Yeah.
You got to rely on your internet hustle more, your Twitch show, your YouTube channel, sponsorships for your podcast. I mean, we have a few coals in the fire, or what is it, stokes in the fire? I don't use that expression ever.
Steaks or...
I don't use that expression. That's not my verbiage. Anyway, what I would say is this to our creator buddies that are watching and that are going to see this on our YouTube channel later. What I would say is, on the subject of Kickstarter, if you want to make something that you know a lot of other people want, but you don't know about the sales after that, and you just want a few left over for your table at cons and things like that, Kickstarter, for sure, 1,000%. That's what we're doing just for the graphic novel. Issues 1 through 3 are already funded and taken care of. We have an agreement for that. So we're wrapping up issue 2 right now. He just finished colors. He's going to go into lettering. That takes him a week max. So by this time next week, we're halfway through our Kickstarter. Issues 1 and 2 are completely done and off to the printers. And then issue 3 will be out at the latest 2 to 4 weeks after we conclude. Okay. So then the graphic novel is issues 1 through 3, plus the extra content in a softcover. Some people can't collect a run.
So, Quentin just asked me, is that Danny McBride Pineapple Express? I'm like, what? I never watched Pineapple Express. I guess he's asking if you look like Danny McBride?
No.
Maybe the shirt?
Nobody would ever confuse me for Danny McBride.
I've never watched Pineapple Express.
I don't know.
And I don't advocate suicide, but that's probably when I'd shoot myself in the mouth, is if I woke up as Danny McBride. Although I love him. I just mean if I looked like him.
Yeah.
I've
never watched. I'm familiar with Pineapple Express.
I don't think you would ever bang Danny McBride.
Probably I would actually.
Really?
No, yeah. I mean, he's hilarious.
Oh, because he's famous. But like, what if I was just
like a normal guy?
What if Danny McBride was at my fame level?
I would stay far away.
Exactly. That wouldn't work out.
Okay.
So this is like now like some sort of weird sort of fibber like, like role playing thing right now that you guys are doing or something like that.
Is it?
So, yeah.
We're doing like sexual promoting.
Yeah. Well, I liked your meat picture for us.
Oh, Brazzers.
Emotion, yeah.
Yeah, it was funny. Like you probably saw that. Like, okay, so my buddy Tony, he has like oodles of awesome booze, and he actually did the mixology shit for Demon Bitch. It just kind of evolved. Like the thing is, what's great about Demon Bitch.
Your story.
Yeah, and it's just like it was like weird because he like actually crafted shitty drinks. He didn't just dump a bunch of alcohol together. Like the Demon Bitch cocktail like looks like a cup of semen and smells pungent. Like I drank it. I went through all of them. I mean, I had to because I'm the creator. And they were bad, but like they weren't just like somebody threw Captain Morgan and a bunch of shit to make it look awful. It's just
like he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, like he actually used good booze like Lafroig and all this other shit and King's Ginger. Yeah. So it was good. So anyway, we had the victory party. You probably saw on my Facebook like where all the guys were looking at the piece of meat. And I'm like, I have to do this. So I put in Brazzers.com because they were all looking like, if you've seen any of the Brazzers pictures, like with a bunch of guys looking at a girl, like, what's going to happen next. So it's like, I just did that with a piece of meat because they're all looking at it. And there's some random white guy like standing off and thing, like drinking a beer or something. And my buddy Dallas was like, off. I was like, oh God, I got to frame this shot. So I took a picture.
Yeah. That's where our meme game is weak.
Yeah, Yeah,
we're
we
not
need to
big
step it
memers.
up, yeah.
You know what it is because
gotta get my shit
as a
together.
writer, I took offense to memes in the beginning. Like I thought they were competitive because they didn't cite who actually wrote it, and I always made up my own shit every day.
Yeah.
I always said something funny and silly.
Well, I just made
And-
that up. Like, I just
Yeah.
decided to do it because it just looked funny. Oh, Rose likes the wedding cake cocktail. So there was this really nasty, like, wedding cake, or cake that somebody did. It was like, it looked somebody said it looked like Trace Lich's, but it looked like this really it's ugly food. I'll send it to Lily through Instagram. It's disgusting.
Okay.
But it's like literally the fucking, like, it's got cake pearls and everything on it. But it looks like somebody poured Sprite all over the fucking thing. I gotta find it.
Gross.
Yeah, it was like, what the fuck is this? So let me go.
And so you guys made a drink inspired by that one too?
Oh yeah, like literally, the more you let it sit, the sadder it got.
Yeah.
I liked, what was the one, I think it was on your Kickstarter page, it looked like a poop. It was like a chocolate mousse
Oh
kind of
yeah,
thing.
yeah. It was.
That was-
It goes like 1 cup, 2 girls. So it's like a
Oh, yeah.
variation of 2 girls, 1 cup.
Oh my god.
Gross.
Taking us back to the good old days of the internet.
Okay, I sent it to you, Lily, on Instagram. But yeah, so I looked at that, and one of my friends, Sky, she looked at it, she's like, oh. She's like, oh god, it looks like just a bad cake, and it looks like somebody
Oh
jizzed all
yeah,
over it.
that's sad.
That's gross.
So we made fun because, like, the woman that inspired Egg Lady.
Ugly food of Insta.
I gotta follow that page.
Oh, it's so
It's
bad.
funny.
Like, look at the fucking hot dogs. There's like this one where, here, I'll find that. But one of my friends is Mexican. She looked at the tostada. She's like, that makes me sad.
What's
Oh,
been,
this weird tostada.
That's so gross.
just looks
What
like-
have we been?
Oh
Ew.
no! The chicken with the octopus tentacles?
Yeah.
There you
This
go.
is gonna give me nightmares. I'm never gonna be able to eat. I love it.
You're
I
like,
can't look away.
Yeah, ugly
The
food.
hot- I
Insta.
saw that you posted the hot dogs, I think, or somebody did.
Yeah,
saw
I did.
that
I
the other
posted the
day.
hot dogs because I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
man, like, just the most disgusting things because it is demon bitch. Like I said, so this is when Egg Lady's husband fucks her, right? You know, and this
Oh,
is the
no.
camera inside, and it comes in. And,
Yeah.
yeah, that's where my mind is a lot of the time.
I love
So,
it.
but no, Rose was laughing her ass off because she was like the Egg Lady wedding cake cocktail because Rose just can't stand that character. Like, she likes the character because it makes fun of her, but it makes fun of a person that used to be a lawyer that I used to be friends with. But I stopped being friends with her because she was an asshole. She would say
Right.
like little mean things. Like, she'd say, like, if she saw you guys, she'd be like, "Oh, you two are gonna break up soon." Like, but she'd say it in a way that wasn't overtly mean. But you're like, wait a minute, that was a bitch
Yeah.
thing to say.
Like later on in the day, you're like, wait.
Yeah, like.
That was-
Yeah.
Kind of like you're just
See, like-
shocked. Like, you wouldn't think that she would say that, something like that, and you're like, wait a minute, that was
Yeah.
a bitch thing to say. So she eventually got married, and then she took the guy's last name. It's somebody's wife forever, and I'm like, but then she would trash all
that
of
was
us
her
other
like
girls.
name.
Yeah, like
Mhm.
she would trash all the other girls, saying, "Oh, why do you even want to get married and shit?" Like that type of shit.
Yeah.
Like mean, but she actually got disbarred as a lawyer because she actually took immigrants' money, and wouldn't
Yeah,
do
I
anything.
saw that on the Sierra Nova show. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was an asshole. So, like, my friend Rose just makes fun of her all the time. So it's like she has an especial hatred for that character. It's like, you know how we were talking about one person that you looked at a picture of. And you
Yeah.
just, I kind of want to bite his face. It's
Yeah,
like,
you
I
just
think
get
Rose.
this reaction.
Yeah, but like Rose has that reaction. She just wants to
For her.
bite her face. Just
Mhm.
like, because I mean, I don't think she wants to
Oh,
eat
yeah.
bite her because first of all she's vegan and number 2 she's like, ew, gross. But she'll
Right.
say, well, Egg Lady does this, and
Punch
I'll.
her.
Yeah, she despises her on very
I
many
have a lot
levels.
of family members like that, and you know, when I don't really have blowouts with them or anything like that, but I remove the first rule of polite society protocol with people like that, where I don't tell them off or anything, but I don't have to touch their hand either or talk to them. But I let myself be known. I'll walk up, I'll look at them, and I'll walk on. And
Yeah, like you don't
it's
even
nice
exist to
because-
me.
Or well, like I see you, but I don't need to, you know. Or if they say what's up, I just go, you know, I'll
Yeah.
walk away. So
Yeah. Some
for
people
me,
you
that's
gotta treat
and
it like
listen,
that.
when you get in the shit house with me, you can get back out too, because
Yeah.
maybe a few months pass, we have a few decent interactions. You
Yeah.
deal with my assholishness,
Yeah.
and then from there, I generally might have some small talk next time.
Yeah, like the thing is that
But it's real short,
Slow.
you know.
Yeah, you gotta work at it.
And I'm in and out. And then maybe 3 or 4 hangouts after that, we're yucking it up and we're having fun again.
see, that's the thing.
So-
It's like I'm the same way. Like I normally wouldn't make fun of these people if, like, you know, okay, one thing, and I walk away. I'm like, you know, you either have 3 choices. You can either apologize, we can talk about it, or you can leave me alone. you know.
Mm.
But if you keep coming at me, I'm gonna have a fucking problem with you. Like, you know, if you want to keep doing shitty things to me, I'm gonna have a problem with you. Like,
Right.
that's the thing. And then, so like the thing with all these people that I draw about, these are people that actually came at me repeatedly, and I'm like, you know, I'm not doing anything to you. I'm walking away from the situation. I don't want to talk to you. Fuck you. But it's like you're not even wanting to bother to talk to me on a civil level. So you know what? You either apologize or whatever, but leave me alone. You know.
Right.
So I'm the same
Or you
way.
end up in the comic.
How many chances do I give people usually? Like,
I think you're pretty good. Maybe like 3 or 4.
Yeah,
That's
I
a
think
lot.
three's reasonable.
Yeah.
Three's
Yeah.
reasonable. I do that too. Like unless they do something really fucked up, and I'm like, no,
And you're like,
no, no. You know.
yeah.
Like,
Well, the
But I can,
one
like,
thing that
add
helps
up or-
insulate us socially, I think, is that we have so many projects going on that if I just want to stop talking to somebody, I can either just cancel the project we're on, or not cross promote anymore, or just go do my own thing, and they're just out of my life now.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't have to have these big blowouts. I could just not make them a focus of my marketing,
yeah,
and just move on to something else.
that I understand
And
too.
if I do that, then they just fade over here, and the relationship's not screwed up.
Right. You don't have to
Because
say
if we bump
things.
into each other, we can have small talk, and maybe in the future we can do another project if we both maybe mature as creators, you know, or get better at our jobs. That whatever made the first one fail.
yeah, yeah.
You know, like if something fails, I'm not like, look, if we were on a comic or something together and it failed, you're not on my shit list. But if it failed because of you, there's a little bitterness there. There's a little like you got to crawl out of that hole with me a little bit.
Right.
Like I'm not just gonna be like, oh, I got a project for you. Instead, it's gonna be like, hey, what's up? How's your thing going? Good. It's selling well. Good. How's yours? Good. Okay, I gotta go. Okay, cool. Later.
Yeah, I
Right.
think there's
That's what
easing
it-
a few
into
of
it.
those, and then
A
maybe-
few of those, and then it's like, what are you working on?
Yeah,
And then we can talk about your working on.
yeah,
Because to me, that's one of the milestones of friendship between creators is you have to bring up what the other one's doing once in a while, otherwise it's weird.
yeah,
If we're both creators and I never bring up your Kickstarter, or I never bring up Demon Bitch, or I never bring up the lunch hour, or I never like share any of your stuff, like, are we just being kind of fake
Yeah.
if you're not doing all that? Like, you should be doing that.
yeah.
Just
Yeah.
share each other's shit and be
Right.
nice. I think that's a good way to build a friendship.
Well,
You
but
know,
people
through your
really downplay that. Like, be nice. It's like really that's how it is. You just be nice to another person. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all you do. It's kind of funny. Rose just said she married and changed her name to hide. Because literally, right when she got disbarred, like a few months beforehand, she got married,
Oh.
and then she got disbarred under her maiden name, which was hilarious.
Oh,
Which
so
was
she
fine.
was able to hide it by changing her name.
The
Oh
mythology.
yeah, it was great. It was funny. So like Rose thinks it's the best thing ever. Is Demon Bitch living in the trash in the drawing that you're making? No, this is not Demon Bitch related.
I wish I could see the
Yeah,
drawing
I
too.
think I
We're
can
missing
pull it up
out.
on
You
my
can
phone.
go on the
Let's watch
Facebook
on the
Live.
phone.
Go on the Facebook Live so that way you can see the comments. But I would suggest you mute it, just because the double talk will drive.
Oh, yeah,
everybody
we're just gonna open it on our phones.
yeah,
That'll give me something to look at. Oh,
yeah.
Did you see my new stickers? Do you see all my new fun stuff? that
I
we
saw
made?
your stickers and shit.
They're cute.
They are.
Everything's cool. So okay, so not always steering it back to the to Fibber, but
Well, that's what we're
Fibber
on
is. I'd say it's a darker story too. I don't want you to think it's just cute. So anybody listening, when you look at the illustration style, you go, oh, it looks like a lot of fun. Shit happens. Shit gets dark. It's a very serious story at its core. The 3-run issue graphic novel will show that it is actually quite a dark story at its root. So disclaimer: it was a good time to get that out
Yeah.
It's all
because if they
fucked
see
up from
if
here.
they see the art, yeah,
It's all
so-
fucked up from here.
it is. But it looks like that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
want to show some pages?
Yeah, these are pages that are in. We got too many lights on. That's why I had shades on in the beginning.
Yeah.
Maybe that was the Danny McBride comment. Actually, Danny McBride would confront someone too if they were bothering him.
Oh yeah.
So maybe
you
we
can't
do
see
have
that
something
shit.
in common. There's
Kenny Powders.
And I call Rob's my artist for Fibber. His last name is Powers, and I call him La Flama Blanca
Yeah.
after Kenneth Powers. Kenny Powers.
Kenny
So-
Who's Kenny Powers again?
He is a fictional character that Danny McBride played, who he's emulating a super huge asshole that was a Major League Baseball player who was racist, who was sexist.
Yeah.
He was just like the worst man ever. and Will Ferrell wrote it, and he made that asshole the hero of the story.
Oh, that's
And
funny.
Eastbound and Down.
Eastbound and Down, and it makes you love this character. So it doesn't matter if you like baseball. It matters if you like anti-heroes, because that's what Kenny Powers is. He's an anti-hero.
Yeah.
But you're rooting for him. And,
Yeah, it's weird.
I love stories like that.
Yeah,
You
he
know,
goes through his little ups and downs.
it's like the Odyssey with a total dick.
That's
It is.
funny.
It's very. It is a lot like the Odyssey. He goes on this journey. He's moving around the whole country.
Yeah.
Goes to Mexico and back.
That's what made Oh Brother Where Art Thou a fun
Yeah, I was
movie
just
to
thinking
watch. It's
that.
like you just take the Odyssey and you put it in any scenario.
yeah, it works for everybody.
Redneck, whatever, baseball player, whatever. It works.
Rose
What are you
said.
drawing over
Rose
here?
said everyone loves
I like
stickers.
this bloody picture.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm just doing this like little drawing for like a PSA or something, and I threw the idea by the writer. I don't want to say what it is because I don't know if I've been clear yet to say what it is, but I'm pretty sure she doesn't care. But we've worked together on mine, the Planned Parenthood project, and I just said, I have this idea. Like she says, it's supposed to be kind of a palate cleanser kind of comic. So I said, why don't I kind of draw it like a little kid, So I just thought it was kind of cute that way.
Yeah. All right.
Nice.
I'm with you on this one. I'll go with it.
Yeah, and you got this cool. We should get something like this for when we do our game, like your little
Bloody
layout
area.
or layover thing around your.
Oh yeah.
your webcam.
I like that.
Yeah. So that's what I do. It's like I just did that, and then I just kind of drew it, So it was really fun. So yeah, Rose says everyone loves stickers. So there you go.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you, Rose.
Yeah.
Well, we got them now. I didn't see them yet.
Yeah. What?
I haven't seen the stickers yet.
I saw a bit of them on the post, on one of the posts.
You're in charge of these,
Yeah.
so you should see. You should see what's happening.
I probably should.
How
Yeah.
dare you?
I'm sure I will. Sometime
Yeah.
today. I'll get to it.
You'll get it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just letting you guys know, to my audience, I just threw down for it, so just throw down a few bucks at least. For it.
Oh, thank
Yeah,
you,
thank
thank you.
You're welcome.
And we got Demon Bitch too.
Yeah. Did you get I think you guys got the downloadable, right?
I think so.
Yeah. We
Okay,
did.
I
sent
can't even remember what we do for each one.
Well,
Sometimes
yeah, I
it's-
kind of get that way too. Like most of the time, I'm like, no, just here, take my money,
Yeah.
Well, that's how you can tell. Like if money's a little tight, we get all the digital.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If things are doing so, that's how you can tell where I'm at financially
Yeah.
between my projects. It's
Yeah.
like this.
Yeah.
We're
So-
trying to keep it safe, so we're just
Right.
getting digital rewards. We're throwing a little couple bucks in.
But that's exciting as a writer is that that okay, I'm broke, but when I finish this, I'm gonna have money,
Yeah.
Yeah.
at least some money, and it's like good, so it propels you through your projects a little better.
In Kickstarter, they save your ass so many times. Like
Mm-hmm.
some people threw down 15 to get like all three Demon Bitch books,
Right.
or 20 to get like +1 because everybody knows shipping's a bitch.
Right,
they
and
would
a
wanna
lot of
get
that
it
goes
in.
into your rewards too. Like for example, we don't make a lot of money on Kickstarters. We just get stuff and merch out that we couldn't have afforded to make
Yeah.
without it,
Yeah.
which to me is a home run. I mean, every once in a while you might get lucky, but for
Right. If
us,
we hit like a big amount.
if we want to make money, we just do a soft launch with minimal advertising, and we just get it out and be like, because then the call to action is go buy it right now.
Mm.
Like,
Right.
hey,
It's
here's
already-
the ad. Now you can do something about it, and it's competitively priced. It's worth it. It's a fun story. Go get it.
Mm.
And if they do, you get this pop of money that Kickstarter would have gobbled up. Like you said, you account for 9 to 10% on the overhead,
Mhm.
and that's even before some other hidden factors.
Right. That's just like
So-
their basic fee.
Well,
Guys,
it's
just so you know, when you
chargebacks.
support a Kickstarter, you are supporting really the project, not necessarily the creator. If you want to support the creator, buy their shit where it's available without any fees taken out, or
Mm.
just some insider whatever.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Two
yeah,
guests.
but it does help.
Yeah, Lawrence here, he does Real Deal Comics through Fantagraphics. He said, 2 guests, this is definitely becoming a thing. And Rose said, it's a Demon Bitch threesome, laugh out loud joke. I'm like, we say all sorts of embarrassing things on this channel anyway.
Well, good. As long as it's coming from like that side of the camera, we're fine with it.
Oh yeah, my fans say all sorts of shit, so it really doesn't matter. So it's like, I kind of like, I don't care anymore.
I often wondered what my fans will be like.
They're usually pretty nice.
If and when I get them. I don't have any fans yet, by the way.
Comment.
I have readers and I have listeners. That's it. They're not fans. They're just people that were kind enough to tune in to me. But in the future, I hope to get
He
some.
just doesn't like that word.
I don't like using that word for me anyway because I feel
That
like
word.
I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
Well,
You know
I
what
have
I mean?
fans, but I mean, I have fans that like fucking love everything that I do, but and then I have fans that
Yeah.
are friends. So I just call them fans, like just fuck
Yeah.
it, you know. And
Yeah. I don't know
one-
what to call them yet.
then one of them
Call them
says-
whatever you want.
Cousins?
Readers.
No, you're a cousin. Once you spent
But
so
you're
much
not
money
cousin.
on me and my projects, I'm going to call you a cousin. So Anthony Lopez, you're my first cousin.
Yeah, he's
My-
officially.
He's a cousin now. And by extension, that gets you a very loose version of my ghetto pass.
There you
So
go.
you could actually gain access to a lot of places you couldn't go prior.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of honorary. It's like being a Dudist priest. You know, which I am.
Oh
Rose-
yeah, you're certified.
I'm
right?
ordained. Yeah.
Oh, you are?
In the Church of Dudism, for sure. Yeah, I only had to put my name and then they sent it.
Oh,
So now I
have,
can do like weddings.
I'm a reverend in the Universal Life Church. A long time ago, I did it as a funny
Wow.
thing, but I have to get my paperwork again because I lost it and moves. and
What
shit.
is that? I don't know what that is.
It's essentially like a non-denominational church. It's not a church per se, like traditional, like
Yeah.
God, Jesus, all this other shit. It's basically whatever you want.
Oh,
and
I
it's
like that.
legal, and you could do exorcisms, marriages, funerals, everything.
Exorcisms.
I want to do that. I could rock an exorcism.
Shit, Lily
Oh,
could do
you
an
can get your
exorcism.
shit on Amazon. Like, I actually was like, oh, fuck, they have, like, the sick cross and everything. I gotta get this.
Yeah.
I guess they call it the sick box. Let me look on Amazon real quick.
Well, I like
Oh my God.
Dudism because it's based on the film The Big Lebowski, the main character, the dude,
Mm-hmm.
and the Church of Dudism preaches that you should always take it easy. And
There
for
you go.
guys high strung as me,
Yeah, you need to remember that more.
Oh,
I
okay.
always need to remember that.
Okay, it's called a sick call, and it's actually a crucifix where you store 2 candles in holy water, and you visit the person that's sick or dying, and then they have the pastoral sick call side. I'm like, oh, motherfucker, this is just
That sounds fun.
I want one. We need one for
Yeah.
emergencies.
Yeah. I guess.
I'll go ahead and give you links to those in Amazon that I found.
That could be our apocalypse jobs.
Yeah, there you go.
Actually,
I got this. I got the sage. I got crystals.
Lily and I
Do
figured out our
everything.
apocalypse jobs already. I'm going to take all my books that I've written in a backpack, and we're going to go town to town like the Old West. I'm going to be riddled with guns,
Yeah.
and I'm going to be a very scary man. You're not going to want to screw with me. And then Lily's going to go up with me on stage, and we're going to work for room and board and a tiny little bit of, gold.
Some food, a little booze.
I'm going to pay for everything in gold teeth because I'm going to have so many. And then
I can believe that, dude.
I will have so many gold
We're gonna
teeth.
get 'em all.
You just pick them up. You pick them out. Get some pliers.
Yeah.
So anyway.
we got the tools.
We got the tools, and then we're going to read one of my books, like in the Old West style, where you're not going to have TVs working, internet's going to be out, the infrastructure is going to be down. Here comes Lily and I, this
We're
pretty
gonna
lady
act
and this
it out?
scary gunslinger, to read you his tales of fiction he wrote before the big collapse. And I can get old and white bearded with this job, and people will hold me in reverence.
Uh-huh.
You'll be like a queen to everybody.
Wow.
And then we'll just kill anybody else that doesn't come aboard.
Yeah.
This is in the apocalypse. This is without rule of law, of course.
After
Oh, of course.
coronavirus.
When it's okay to do that, is what I'm saying.
Oh, and David
Not- we're
Marquez,
not
David.
monsters. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like for me, I don't know what my apocalypse job would be. I'd have a lot of swords, and they're not the lame ass swords that you get at a convention.
No,
But I
no,
got the
yeah.
ones at Cold Steel. They're not like super high end, but they do take a beating. Like you
They're
can actually.
mid-tech. I like Cold Steel a lot.
Yeah. So you're
Yeah.
familiar with them. They actually have a little garage sale in Ventura. That's like where their production is. So
Yeah.
I went down there and just bought a bunch of seconds and thirds, but they're like nice, Like if you know
Right.
what to look for, you can find some nice ones. Rose said, "I have a table fan and a window fan." Hey Tariq, how's it going? But yeah,
Oh,
so
fans.
Oh, exactly.
Wait,
We
what?
have those too. Rose.
yeah, I have a table fan. I have a window fan. I have
Well,
air
the
con-
only thing I would say with Cold Steel swords is if you have any knowledge of like suka work, like you can build handles or anything like that.
Yeah.
And then you can get at least for katana, you can get pieces from fredlohman.com. This way, with Cold Steel, my only beef with their katana anyway is they fit them real shitty. So I'd like to buy Cold Steel katana, take them apart, put a good handle, good furniture on them, and then build a new saya.
Yeah.
And if you can do that like calmly over the course of like 3 months, you can get yourself a hell of a weapon, because their swords are very overbuilt.
What do you mean by
Yeah.
overbuilt?
They're not traditional. They're too thick, and
Okay.
they don't use any folding technique because modern steels don't need it. Sweet
Yeah, because
powder.
you have the machines. The machines.
And they're powdered now, so
Yeah.
they used to fold them to get your imperfections out of the iron ore.
Yeah, because
So
like
now I do that.
Japanese iron was actually riddled with imperfections. That's why they were going like, well, they've been folded so many times that shows quality. It's like, no, they had to get all the shit out first. That was how much shit had in it.
And it's beautiful, and it's called a hara line when you watch the hara lines. And then there's the hamon, which is the part that's heat treated.
Okay.
Sorry, we stumbled on an area I know about.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Go. We
love swords.
talk about all sorts of shit on this show.
I know the secret hobbies.
Yeah, I'm for phase 3 of the apocalypse. That's where my
what we were
expertise
talking about this
kicks
morning.
in.
We were watching all the BBC news about what's going on in Italy and everything.
Yeah.
And we were like, okay, we got to get ready.
I'm like a male lion. I'm mostly useless, except for that like small percentage of the time other male lions come to screw with everybody.
I'm the one going out doing the hunting, and he just lays.
She just takes care of
He's
me.
laying around with the cat.
I suck.
Well, at least you don't eat the other guy's babies because you don't.
No, that's where I draw the line. Actually, I thought about it and I was like, it ain't right.
I feel like you get tempted sometimes. Though you see like a little kid out shopping, and you're just like, ugh.
Yeah, I don't jive with kids that well. I usually stare at them and ask them what their malfunction is and scare them and all this stuff.
Actually,
we're not right to cannibalism yet.
No, I just scare them.
I don't think we'll get there.
Actually, it's funny, like with but like when I went to Costco, because like my Costco actually was pretty good. Because in the wake of this, they basically have limited those items, paper towels, water bottles, and toilet paper to 2 apiece to people.
Oh, wow.
So, like they said, 2 apiece only. But how the toilet paper thing is, there was this one woman. She was stopped in front. She had already gotten her limit, but she was jabbering to her husband, and I just said to her, I said, "Excuse me," shoved my cart in the center, went up, grabbed it, and hucked it in there, and left. What I did do was to stock up for the apocalypse. I actually got like bottles of calamansi juice. Now, if you don't know what calamansi is, it's a mixture between a lime and a mandarin orange, and it is delicious.
That sounds so good.
Oh, I've fucking got tons of those because last time I had Costco, I went to Costco and got it. They had bottles of 2, like big bottles, like I think bigger than this, but it was like this, like bottles that are kind of like this juice bottles, but they're bigger. Right. But I got bottles of 2, and I got over 6 of them. I'm like, fuck y'all, I'm getting this. This is what I want. Because I didn't have it the last month because they didn't have any. I'm like, fuck.
Right.
So
yeah,
but
I stock up on everything.
We're in Colorado. It's a little crazy here too. We were already stocked.
Yeah, we're just natural preppers. Like we had a little bit just before this, but we've been in.
I would say that on my end, that was one of the factors that we got together on was that when I've dated in the past and my partners have seen my level of preparation, at least mentally, many of them have distanced themselves from me. And Lily was like, "That's great."
I know. I'm all about
I was like, "Yes."
I love it.
And we live a very tactical, very EDC friendly, very outdoorsy lifestyle. When we can.
Like for me, I like my creature comforts, and like Asian people like fucking Costco. Like we just fucking love the shit out of Costco. So like because like my mom introduced me to Costco when it was Price Club, when she had her own business, doing the thing. She was selling like snacks and stuff. But like I remember buying like a fucking whole thing. Like there's a 36 roll. That's how they come in, 36 rolls. I just grab them and I just I fucking have TP for 6 months and I don't even think about it. So like for me in my house, we had like 2 6-pack rolls left out of a big one. So I just consolidated them. I said, you know what? Let me go just get another fucking thing of toilet paper. Fuck it, why not? Just because I don't want to think about it. Like I don't want to wait till I'm on my last roll. Like, oh shit, That's how I am. So it's just like I already have. So I bought another thing of toilet paper and just kind of hung out. But it's just like, yeah, like I was like, yeah, this is awesome. So
yeah, we need to get a membership. I don't know if they're even like sold out. If they're overpriced now, like you can't even get a.
We're all right. I mean, the main thing you got to watch out for is like your cats. Make sure they have enough litter and grub.
Yeah, we got cat food and litter the other day.
Oh, they've got cat food and litter over at Costco, like a huge thing. They're huge, but it's like $12.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I mean, it's worth it. It's like $60 for a regular one, and then you go. Yeah, and then for the whole year, and you could get up to 2 cards. So if you guys live together, there you go.
There you go.
You might do that. A friend of mine gave me her card number the other day, and she was like, "Oh yeah, you can just call them and order it. They'll send it to your house." I don't know if it's gonna work because I took a picture of her card, and I'm like,
"We don't care.
We'll try it.
It's not a big deal."
Yeah.
You can also order from Costco.com, and I think it's free if you order it, and they have it shipped to the store, and you pick it up. So like I see all these people like ordering buying all this shit. I'm like, fuck y'all. I'll probably just order and have it delivered to the store and walk up. It's like, Did you order 4 cases of toilet paper? Yeah, and then I'm like, yeah, and I do it to be a dick, and I just got them and then put them in my fucking...
Yeah.
And like, you have
Well,
Amazon.
giant
Amazon, you
soccer
can
ball
order it
SUV.
and get it next day. How many fucking people have Prime?
Right.
Just ship it to your door. Yeah, just ship it to your
Yeah.
door.
Well, it's also going to change too because like I saw like in New York they were selling hand sanitizer for like $80.
Oh yeah, it's all overpriced.
And it was nuts. So like when it gets to that level, let's say you order online and you show up to be a smartass to go pick up your toilet paper in front of everybody. Some people may just try to take it, you know. So
Yeah.
like that's how things are getting like in Italy.
Well,
for
that's
example.
Italy.
So yeah, so they're on lockdown. They can't do any public events I saw of
Yeah.
any kind.
They have, like,
No
a
sporting
curfew,
events, no
you can't
concerts.
travel.
And if you want to be out and about, there's some sort of permitting involved.
Yeah, you have to apply for like a permit to go outside of your house.
So that
It's
sucks.
insane.
Oh, this is funny. So, let's see here. Hand sanitizer. I'm like looking. Wow, a lot
you're
of them are
looking at
like.
everything.
Yeah, I'm looking
Yeah.
at fucking like Amazon right now. Just
Yeah,
for
you
the
should
hell of it.
just pre-order
Yeah,
it.
we were
see.
looking at stuff the other day. They have those little water filtration systems like Sawyer. We have those for our camping.
Yeah, we couldn't
already.
find those online at all.
They were all sold out on
we
Amazon.
found
They had
one.
left at Walmart that we got.
Let's see,
And,
Amazon Prime. So the
Well,
Clorox. Oh, sorry, go on. I apologize.
No,
that's it.
that's it. It's just getting crazy.
I just was looking at this. It's like Clorox hand sanitizer currently unavailable. $55 for the hand sanitizer, but you get a nasal inhaler, you get a bowl lamp, you get like a Himalayan salt bowl lamp, hand soap
that'll
antibacterial gel with lavender and kills 99. So you get a bunch of shit with it. So this isn't the typical overpriced. Then you get the Scott Pro liquid hand soap with moisturizer, but it's a case of 2 bottles. Foam hand soap refill, $56. Yeah, I've already. Yeah, but these are huge amounts. Like, this is not like a
Okay.
bottle. Like, it's not like that.
Well, it
Hand
might be
sanit-
good to stock up to resell some of that stuff in the apocalypse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm pretty okay with it. Like, I just decided to look up hand sanitizer. Sanitizer. Okay. go
Just
ahead.
why not?
I'm just laughing about it because it's really funny.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, but it's like they have stearamine and stuff. Like, I don't know. I'm kind of just laughing about it because it's like, I have some, but...
I have to laugh about this whole thing basically because I'm trying to advertise against this news that everybody's obsessing about every day, and the markets have crashed, and all these things have happened, and I'm like, I got a Kickstarter, and
Please get my
it's
comic
so
book,
weird,
guys.
but I have no choice but to soldier through it on behalf of my artist and Lily, and we have to sort of. The other thing is,
If it was just you alone, you'd be off in the woods already.
well, the Kickstarter's going well so far, and I think the reason being is because people like the distraction.
Yeah.
And part of them thinks, well, I'll probably never have to pay for this anyway.
Everything's gonna go crazy in the next
Right.
30 days.
Exactly.
Oh, no.
No, like, there's
So-
this fucking 4 pounds of hand sanitizer jar with a green label, and it's like $23.
That's not too bad, but no, the sanitizer doesn't even work that well. It only kills like your hand washing still works way better.
Well,
to
I
get
think
everything
the
off.
actual wipes, like if you just wipe your hands with the towels after you wash them, that's why like somebody was talking about like the blowing things, even though that cuts down on paper waste, it doesn't wipe off the shit. The point is that
okay.
the washing your hands is not only like killing like the shit on your hands, but it also like wiping it off with the paper towels will physically wipe off any crap that's on there.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, they say it's better to wash your hands anyway.
Well, yeah, I
So-
mean, it's like if
Wow,
I'm at
there
a
you are.
if I'm at a fucking festival and they run out of soap, and it's like, all right, well, hand sanitizer next best thing, so I'm not nasty.
Yeah.
But-
Right. It's like okay, but not really.
That and
great.
you lost me at I'm at a festival.
Yeah, like if I'm at a
That's
festival, I
not-
mean,
I don't
like,
like crowds at all.
yeah, well, I don't mind. It's just like this, that. But it's weird because it's like, as I said, it's like I prefer to wash my hands. So when the whole craze came on with like hand sanitizers, I'm like, okay, I'll just wash my hands anyway. Like if I eat food and there's food on my hands, I'm not going to put hand sanitizer. Like, no, that's more shit on my hands. I just want to
Right.
wipe off.
And then you get
wash
the
my
weird
hands.
like it's residue and it's just
Yeah, you're just like, ugh.
Yeah.
Like, especially if you
It
eat
feels
Mexican
nasty.
food or really spicy food and you can smell it. It's not, doesn't smell that good. Yeah, you just need to wash off your hands.
Yeah.
What about wipes?
wash your hands, people.
Yeah, just wash your fucking hands. Like, I mean, it's,
and your butts.
yeah, your butts, but butts and hands. You know,
Butts
you need
and
the
hands.
order.
Butts and hands.
Yeah,
Hands
yeah.
and butts.
That's the name of my new charity organization.
Butts and hands.
Yes, and it's about cleaning. It's not what you think. It's about, don't Google that. But it is about keeping your bottoms and your hands sanitary and clean And I believe that in the place in society that we're at, we should be able to get it done if we educate each other on butts and hands.
Well, I think some people just say, like, I straight up saw a dude, like, he used the bathroom and he did not wash his hands. And I'm like, maybe that's why we're so worried.
I saw this guy at King Soopers. He was using the little microwave for the soups and stuff, and then he licked his fingers. And I wanted to be like, brah.
We're in the middle of a pandemic.
I know. I wanted to be like,
what's wrong with
But then I thought about it, and I was like, Darwinism. And it kind of hit me like, this is what it should be, And I walked by him like knowingly, and you fool. Yeah,
you brought this up.
I pitied the fool.
Oh, you literally pitied the fool.
Yeah, I think that's the first time I've ever pitied the fool.
I just kind of got to a point where it's like, the news has really like gone out of their way to just make everything nuts anyway. So I'm just kind of like, whatever. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm not trying to say, oh, it doesn't matter or anything. It's like, okay, yes, this is a concern because we don't have a vaccine yet. That's why also people are scared.
Yeah. But and we're not gonna for a long time either.
No. They actually are working on one right now. They said there might be one available in the fall.
We're all
That's
dead
a long time.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they're going to step it up.
If you have coronavirus right now and I told you, hey, by fall we'll probably be able to, that would still be upsetting.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just kind of like whatever about it because like...
Yeah, I mean, we'll
because that means that there's 6 months of people riding subways to work, riding public transportation to work, of airlines either needing to be bailed out and or making their seats so cheap people fly again.
Yeah.
And all this stuff, and the stock market needs to somehow reinflate. So not that I care about any of this stuff, I just know too much about it now that we've been watching videos.
I know, every morning we're like, what is the newest
And that
thing?
guy went on Joe Rogan's podcast, he did a 2-hour thing on, he's like an expert on this, and it was actually good to get a lot of that misinformation out of the way. Like, this guy explained it. Like, kids are generally safe from it.
Yeah.
Kids
that's
haven't
an
been
interesting
dying.
thing, that kids aren't really getting sick.
But
it's
they
more of like
transmit
an
it.
older person disease.
But they transmit it. But he doesn't think closing schools are is a great idea right now.
So this is the okay boomer disease, huh? Right? So like
pretty much, yeah.
I guess this is
really.
the one
it's
where
like,
they want people to have all the boomers die. Well, they got their wish. So.
It's 40 and up. It's like my age and up.
But also other stuff. You were saying smokers,
obese people.
So I mean.
Yeah.
Oh, this is like Logan's Run.
Oh yeah.
In a way.
It's all just like healthy young people. Maybe it'll be. I mean, I hate that. I'm gonna get blasted.
No, don't
I'm not
say
even
anything stupid.
I'm gonna stop talking.
We have a Kickstarter, and it's very important. So no, but
sign up for the Kickstarter. That's what I'll say.
Thanks, you.
I just like say shit, and it's like the more wild shit I say, like people like it more. So oh well.
Yeah, we've been going in the other direction because that's how I started.
I
think we talked about this. It works for you. I think with me, I free people out. It does not work. Mm-hmm. And then so instead, I started going.
We're playing it safe.
Hey, thought you can wait till after the recording.
Yeah.
And then I say it to Lily, and we laugh. And then it's okay. Right. So I like the sales are okay.
We get it all out in the morning.
Yeah, we say terrible stuff around the house to each other.
And to the cat.
All day, because we're either doing the podcast or the YouTube or the Twitch or interviews. So we figured like get it out of the way now, so this way, when we're on air, we can still have a Kickstarter. Good. Yeah. And besides, guys, the other part of the Kickstarter too is just to get you comics to read during the apocalypse. Remember.
Yep.
You're not going to have the boob tube. So without the boob or tuber, you may need some computer pages.
I don't think people really watch the boob tube anymore either. It's kind of weird. Like the TV is just a receptacle for YouTube.
I don't even know what the boob tube is. I thought it meant just screens in general.
I think it's like TV. Yeah, it's TV.
Yeah. And I think it's because it used to be tubes in the back of TV. Yeah.
So Rose said Demon Butch uses poison oak to wipe her butt.
Oh, delicious.
Yeah. Well, that would explain a lot of the writing and a lot of where the story's gone, and I can see that.
Yeah, it's like basically it's degenerated into whatever the fuck it is right
Just pure madness.
So, what's your schedule for lunch hour normally? I don't know your normal schedule, or is it random?
Well, lunch hour is Monday through Friday from 12:30 to 1:30.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it's like, that's PM PST for an hour. And then the weekend is like whatever, and the days after is like whatever I have to do for business out there.
Yeah.
Nice.
We've been having a hard time pegging down a real schedule.
Yeah, we just hop on when we can to Twitch. Usually it's more in like the evening.
That's why I like YouTube, separating the Twitch from the YouTube video, because you can upload on YouTube per your schedule. But with Twitch, it's like, yeah, here I am. I made the quota. Partner me. Whatever, you know. So.
Yeah, I'm working on that right now. I'm working on like people like constantly talking on there and shit, and I'm like, come on, you know. So I'm just one person away
we
from
host
that.
our channel, don't we?
Yeah, we have you auto-hosted.
We have you auto-hosted
so
as well.
hopefully that'll get you some of our little followers.
Yeah, I like hopped on Twitch, and here's Christy Shin doing her thing, and I'm like, were you watching this?
Yeah.
She's like, no, we're hosting it. And I'm like, I'm hosting it? I didn't even talk to her today. Yeah, so it's nice. It just happens.
Yeah, you just click one little button, type in Horror Studios.
Horror.
What is that? What is that name?
It is actually.
Is that a thing?
It's basically based off of Horangi, which is tiger in Korean, and Tora, I guess, is a Japanese war cry. So, but it also means tiger as well. So Hora,
like
Tora.
A tiger cry.
Tiger. It's also a play on that. I forgot that one writer that does. I think it's William Lewis Stevenson that does Tiger, Burning in the Night.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's kind of a play on all those.
Wow.
Tiger, Burning in the Night. Something Stripes.
Yeah.
How does it go?
It's like Tiger, Burning in the Night.
How fearful thy symmetry.
Fearful thy symmetry. So yeah, like we read stuff and stuff. So I just thought of that one.
Good.
So I thought it was pretty cool.
I like it. That's awesome.
It's one of my favorite lines ever. It's just the opening, those first 4 lines. I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
How you get so crafty?
Yeah.
William Blake.
I'm such a wordsmith, Wayne.
Oh, Quentin. He said it's William Blake. Quentin says it's
Nice.
William Blake. So yeah, thank you. But
Thank you.
like it's just one of those deals, you know. I'm just kind of like, I don't know. It's kind of like I guess it's like we're, as Rose likes to joke with me, okay, Gen X. I'm kind of like, I think we're at this point now. We're just like, whatever.
Yeah, that's what Gen X. That's like the definition of Gen X is just like, meh.
Is that what I am?
Whatever. Yeah, you're X.
I'm an X.
All your apathy.
All my apathy, because we grew up on like
Nails,
Daria, 9 Inch Nails, and MTV's Oddities, and everything that was amazing back then. It was a lovely time to be 14.
Shitty millennial, I guess.
Yeah, mid 90s, man, all the way.
I'm kind of like one of these people. Like, I think I just gone through so much shit in my life that I'm just kind of like, we'll get past it somehow. Everybody's just hamstering at the moment.
Yeah. We will prevail.
Yeah, it's just like it's just gonna seem really bad right now. It's just, as I said, I've kind of gone through similar instances in my life, and people can say, "How can you be so insensitive?" Blah blah blah. And like, I'm worried about my life, dude. You know, and nobody cared when the end of the world was ending for me. So it was like, okay, well, I gotta care. Yeah. So it's sort of one of those from my mentality. And it's not like fuck everyone else. Like, I mean, I feel bad for my friends, but it's like, you know, it's just one of those things like, well, I think maybe because my parents were basically kids during the Korean War. It's kind of like, well, I can go and sit here in hamster and be upset and think the end of the world is happening, or I can do something about it on my end. Now, it doesn't mean that I can go out and save the world and do these platoons and stuff, but really it's just kind of doing the thing that I do. And I think I've been noticing when people see what I do, they kind of get inspired of the fact to do the thing, and that actually makes their life better. They don't have to do exactly what I do, but it's just like the fact I'm just kind of like, I'm just kind of like doing that, you know? Like, I'm doing my thing. Don't you care? Aren't you upset? And like, it's upsetting, but what do you want me to do about it? I can't control the world.
Right.
I can just go do what I do and control what I do. You know, it's just, I mean, I think the boomers tried to articulate that. I can't even say my parents are boomers because they weren't raised in this country. So they kind of aren't a part of that. But I think that's what the boomers tried to put into people, but they didn't do it in the best way possible. So us Gen Xers had to kind of figure it out for ourselves. And so now it's like we're just kind of like, what seems like apathy, we're just like, you know, this shit happens. I mean, it's not that we don't care. Right. I can't speak for everybody, but at least for me, it's like, it's not that I don't care, but it's like, where do I want to put my focus on? I only have so much energy.
Exactly.
And then it's
so like you know, we're legit worried. And but we're not freaking people out, because what's that going to accomplish?
Yeah.
So we're preparing best we can without running around like madmen.
Right, blowing all over.
We just buy a little extra shit here and there. Yeah. We discuss things like, you know, plans for the family and things like that. You know, like where do we wind up? Where do we go if this happens? So we have contingencies, because that's fun for me. I actually enjoy that. But other than that, we're where you're at, where we don't want to focus on anything but the work right now. I think that entertainment is more valuable than ever for people because they need that escape. And if something we make can make somebody else happy in this time, that's a very powerful gesture, considering what's out there. So
Yeah,
I think it's important.
I think it's just we kind of have this responsibility, and again, it's not to sound preachy, but I think I'm at this point now where it's like, look, do I add to it or do I take away from it? And in this way, like, I mean, yeah, it's a concern. Like, okay, economy could be like are affected by this, blah blah blah. Your own personal economy, but at the same time, it's like, well, if I'm scared or acting crazy, I could be manipulated more often. That's been my experience.
Yeah.
Like, whenever I've
Sure.
made a decision out of desperation or fear, this is what's happening. So, I mean, right now the weather's getting warmer. I'm pretty sure that the disease will run its course in the next few months. That's how I feel about it.
I hope so.
Well, I mean, it's just like I've noticed this about the news. They will go and scream about shit. Oh, this is going to bring down something. It never happens. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of at this point now. It's like I'm not going to feed into it. It's like it's kind of also like when you've dealt with people. It's like you've lied to me so much. I don't want to fucking talk to you. Like, yes, I will listen to the news here and there. It's not that I'm thinking coronavirus isn't blah blah blah, but it's just like the moment that it happened. I did research on it. I looked it up what a coronavirus is. Oh, it's a type of virus. There's rhinovirus and coronavirus. They create the flus. Coronavirus does this. The reason why it's called that. And the main thing that was making me mad about the whole media was that what strain? They were just saying coronavirus. That's like saying,
oh, okay.
I want spicy peppers. Okay, which one? There's habanero, there's jalapeno, there's Moruga scorpion. What are you talking about? There's ghost pepper.
Exactly.
So it's like, what strain are you looking at? Because like 10 years ago, we had the issue with SARS. And SARS
There's
is a
always
type
been
of,
multiple ones.
That killed a lot of people, though.
SARS, bird flu.
A lot of people died from
Malgus.
those. The other thing, too, is I look at it through a different lens, like through the code of Bushido, in a way, because that influences a lot of my worldly decisions, is that by lying to me many, many times as my opponent, that would be a great way to get my guard down for the real one. You know what I mean? So I see what you're saying, but at the same time, I can't lower my guard just because they lied 20 times. I now have to be like, maybe 21's it, maybe 22. Either way, they're putting it in my head that it could be a thing. So if we prepare for it, I can put it out of my head. So that's where I can ignore it, is if I'm ready.
See, the thing is that for me, it's like this. It's like I've had people lie to me a lot. I mean, sure, you have too. But my thing is that I just find my own info.
Sure.
If you're a person that has lied to me many times, and I've taken only so much of it as truth, and then you lie to me, you are no longer a reliable source of information. So therefore, I just go and find my own info. So when I did my own research, and no, I didn't go on any weird sites. It was just like Wikipedia. Give me an overall design of what a coronavirus is.
Sure.
The reason why it's called a coronavirus is that under the microscope, it looks like a crown. That's why it's called a coronavirus. Okay. That's the thing. Rhinovirus, it attacks mostly your nose or something. So, rhinoceros. So the thing is that, so I went to the CDC website. I went straight to the source. I said, okay, let's look at the CDC website. Transmission rate, 0.16%. Okay, fine. Good. And they said the main course of concern is we do not have a vaccine as of yet. This was like a few days ago. So I looked at that. I said, okay. So that's why I was kind of just like, because the news, it's like, I've had people, like another thing with combat too, what I've had to deal with in my life, not necessarily combat, but dealing with fucked up people, is that they will bluster at you and throw everything at you in order to scare you or to make you do something.
Right.
Or to have your guard up at the wrong times. But if you kind of take a step back and you say, what strategically should I look at? And so I said, let me find out what's going on with this coronavirus, right? When I first hear about it. So I looked it up. I looked up the causes. I looked up why. And the reason why the main source of concern at this moment is, okay, well, it's because there's no vaccine for it yet. Okay, fine, that's worrisome. The U.S. instituted quarantine or restrictions on China February the 2nd. So we were ahead of this game. So that's why it hasn't hit us that bad. But the whole infection rate of the rest of the world, for whatever reason, now it's different. Like with Asia, China isn't obviously in that area. It's closer proximity. So there would obviously be more cases just due to the fact that it's closer to the rate of transmission. Korea has like 50 cases, I think, of the coronavirus, but It's also dependent on like what strain it is, right? Because if you just say coronavirus, okay, great, but there's many strains of the coronavirus. But now it's like they have COVID-19, then that's the strain we're looking for.
Right.
Okay, so we're looking at that, and then we're looking at Europe. Europe has, from what I understand, I wasn't able to find any hard data on Europe, but they had more permissive travel inlines and less restriction. So at least for China in that area, so they've gotten it worse.
Yeah.
And it also depends on the infrastructure and cleanliness rates. Like in Asia, at least from what I understand, China does not have the highest rating for, I'm not saying the Chinese themselves, but the infrastructure in China is shit. Let's be frank. Like, it's not equally spread. Like in the U.S., yes, there's some dirty and shitty areas. Okay, we know this. But overall, our infrastructure is pretty good. We have running water. We have a good sanitary system overall. It's fairly evenly distributed, with the exception of some areas. Now, with China, it's much more stark. Like, in the cities, you get it better. But in the rural countries, it's not good at all.
Yeah.
And there's lower standards of sanitation there. And there's other things, too, that sound plausible. So, I mean, I'm not going to get into it because I don't want to, like, freak everybody out. But so I kind of look at the data for each thing, and I just say, okay.
A good one that we saw was a good source of information is Michael Osterholm. Just went on the Joe Rogan Experience 1439. He's an internationally recognized expert in infectious disease epidemiology. He's a professor on it, writes books on it. This guy really knows his stuff.
Yeah.
So he talked about it for about an hour and a half. That's Joe Rogan 1439. Watch that. That's a good one.
Yeah, send me a link to that. I'll listen to that.
I learned a lot about it. That's where I know most of it.
Right. He goes into it.
Because I was kind of tuning it out until we actually just sat down and listened to somebody really yammer on. Because I figured there'd be a lot less billboarding and just spin going on if it was somebody
He's not dramatizing the whole thing.
Right. So I'm not saying he's right or wrong. I'm just saying, like, we watched it and I absorbed it.
Yeah, and I think the thing is that I think one of the things that somebody once said is, like, we're glad that it's not mutating. That's the thing. That's the main cause of concern. Yeah. So right now, I just think it's a sort of, it has to run its course. Although there has been talk that there was actually a biological, not munitions, but a biological development, quote-unquote, thing in Wuhan where the outbreak was. And unfortunately, the Chinese government is not known for their transparency. Let's be frank. Yeah. So that's kind of added to a lot of it. So for the U.S., I think for the whole part, we're actually the ones less hit the most. But I think Europe and, Africa is kind of a not concern. I don't know why, because it doesn't go quite there. But apparently, like, it's also hit Iran, because there's some indicators there too. But it looks like largely the Middle East has not been touched, except for Iran. Africa doesn't look like it's been touched at all. But we're looking at mostly Europe and Asia. But there's been a lot of travel between Europe and Asia too, so as well as here. But that's why we have the quarantine here. But we instituted in February the 2nd. So I think that was pretty good of us to do. And again, some people are like, oh, that's mean. At the time, some people are like, that's mean, that's terrible. But it's like, no, if there's a health concern, we need to not spread the disease. So I think
it's not a personal thing; it's just for safety.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's what we have to think about in terms of.
See, I always felt that way about certain people having kids.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Because it's like that's exactly how I look at it. It's like, no, don't spread it. And it's like, now they got 6 kids, and 20 years later, they're going to be somebody else's problem.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
it's
God.
Spreading.
Quentin said, meanwhile, in the Netherlands, most virus cases occur in the southern part of the country. Yeah, ours are kind of weird. It's like we had a case in LA. It's very sporadic in a lot of areas in the U.S. That's what I've noticed.
New York's getting chewed up right now.
New York and Seattle's got it bad.
New York's getting chewed.
We got a couple cases here in Denver.
We have government officials that caught it.
Yeah, well, they kind of travel all over. There you go. That makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Well, and they also don't wash their hands or their butts. So that's
they need to wash their butt. They need to wash their butts first, then their hands. See.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, not the other way around.
Yeah, don't do it.
Or do a triple.
Order's
hands,
important.
Butt, hands.
Hands, butt, hands.
Yeah.
That's okay too.
Butt to hand, hand to butt.
Apparently, from what I've heard of a GI surgeon, my surgeon, he once said, like, because I got bored, and I watched butt surgeries because that's how I am. And like I noticed they didn't stitch the wound closed.
You can't
on
just
it.
say that's how I am, though. Like that's not how somebody is. You
No,
know?
but I
That's
mean,
like
I read this shit. I mean, it's funny. I mean, I think it's great. Like I like
butt
watching
surgeries.
just surgeries in general. Like I
Okay.
just get bored. So
Morbid lady.
If I ever get butt surgery, we're gonna film it, and
Yeah.
you're gonna have to host it on your Twitch.
well, I don't want to see your ass. That's the thing. You could post it.
Well,
on
what do you
really-
look at when you watch butt
Really, really
surgeries?
close
Well, the
up.
person's all like,
Colonoscopy.
Oh, you mean because it's me and you know who it belongs to?
yeah. It's like I don't want to see your ass. She can
What
see
if it was
that.
just like what if it was like inner butt surgery?
Yeah, like a colonoscopy.
Yeah,
colonoscopy? Well, I mean that's kind of different because it's
What
like
is
I'm
a
getting pretty
dirty-
old.
Inside of Joe's butt.
my butt.
We'll put it on.
Well, I
YouTube.
think you're getting around that age where you need to get a colonoscopy. Actually,
Yeah.
Sucks, man.
Are you excited?
I'm gonna do it myself.
Are you excited?
I mean,
hey,
I'm
I can't
I'm
complain.
just
Like
gonna
for,
reach in
for,
there.
for my surgery, they had to. It was weird. They had to put like this weird bit in my mouth because I had to. Have, you know how I had to go through surgery like to remove
Yeah.
a pancreatic tumor. So they actually took a thing, and it looked. I looked at it. I'm like, oh my god, this looks like a fucking bondage thing. It like literally,
Oh.
it's a thing that props your mouth open because they have to put you under because they got to
Yeah.
stick a scope down your throat. So it's
right.
like. Or spray that tastes like licorice, and I hate the taste of licorice in my
weird.
mouth. So I'm like all out like this, like
His mouth
bit,
open
with his
tube
bit.
down your throat.
yeah,
Oh,
and that's
no.
yeah. So it's like I had to go under for that, and
I would never agree to that unless it like. I mean, did it come in black? Did it look cool?
it was black.
Yeah.
It was
With your
black.
chains.
Yeah,
There
they
you go.
put it in my mouth like before they put me under. They said okay.
Were they like edgy about it? Were they like
Yeah. Take
mushed their
this.
head back? Yeah. If they didn't like that, then I could go along with it. But if it was like, I hate hospitals, man.
Oh.
Well, actually,
Such a
they were
man
pretty
thing.
matter of fact. They were just like, here, put that in. By the way, this is to keep your mouth from drying out. And they sprayed it in my mouth. I'm like,
Oh.
like
okay.
this.
Somebody maced you.
Yeah, maced it in my mouth,
The
and then I
licorice
had to,
mace.
Somebody kicked you in the crotch.
yeah, but I had to be put under twice, and so,
Oh,
but my
no.
my GI surgeon, he later told me, like when I asked him, like, how come you guys never sew up, like any cuts on the anus, like when they, because like sometimes hemorrhoids, like thrombosed hemorrhoids and stuff, like.
Sure. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, and then I asked him about it, like, why don't you do that? And he says, well, this is funny. The anus is like the most dirty. I love how people just logged in when I'm saying anus and shit. But it's like the anus is like this remarkable instrument. It's got an amazing blood supply. It's the dirtiest part of the body, but yet you don't need to do that. And I'm like, oh, okay.
You can just. You don't have to. I don't even know what to say. They don't stitch if you get a cut on your butt.
I think that I
Yeah.
think that's a perfect
What?
note to end the interview on. I think it sums everything up perfectly. It encapsulates the tone of what we're really going for with this conversation. And I think that, you don't. Here's the point, people. If you're watching this, okay, you don't need to sew up every ripped anus.
Yeah.
And
Well,
let
it
it
depends on the
heal
rip,
itself.
too. Like,
right, naturally, but that's the overall blanket statement I want you people to take away from this. And if you get a chance, write it down and put it up on the fridge. I think it's
We're
a good
gonna have
idea
like
to.
little motivational posters coming
Yeah.
out. As
And
our
anything
Kickstarter.
bad happens to you or your family or anything like that, you just kind of point up to not every anus needs sewing.
Yeah.
And I think it'll make everything all right.
well,
So-
speaking of taking away from anuses, are the last word. Please support their Kickstarter.
Oh.
That's what they're here for.
Thank you.
It's pinned up there, and please support them. They've been very wonderfully supportive of me. I threw a few down for them,
Thank
so
Thank you.
please throw a few down for me too, or for them. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
If you just don't
All
give a
of
shit
your-
about it, just throw it
Or
down.
just buy the book because it's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I
You
mean,
do the
throw it
issues
down, like,
or
you
the
get-
book, the whole thing.
Like I feel bad like asking for support. I feel more like, hey, I think you'll want to buy this.
Yeah.
I think you guys will
You're
like
gonna
it.
enjoy it.
If you like space adventures, you'll love Fibber. If you like dark humor, you're gonna love it. And yes, help out, of course. Like if you don't like it, throw $1.
Yeah.
You know, so
Throw a
this way you're
handful.
helping, but you're not like bothered by it, and you
Yeah.
paid $1 to get me out of your hair.
Yeah, it's like a spite dollar.
It's a
God
spike
damn,
dollar.
you sound
Leave
like
me alone,
like
Doctor.
people. You bug people. Like just say like fuck it. It's just worth it. You should just do the thing.
It is worth it,
Yeah.
certainly. But
You're shameless about it. I love
we
it.
have high roller packages as well for the people
You know
that
what I
see
mean?
the beauty in what we've made.
I mean,
And it is lovely.
yeah. I mean, goddamn. Like for my Kickstarter, one guy said I will sword fight anybody for 10K. I'm like,
I saw that.
why not? Sure. And it
Yeah.
just became this whole internet conversation.
That's
So
what you
Oh no! For $1,000, I just announced it. If you donate to our Kickstarter $1,000 or more, you will get an ungloved handshake from the writer, me.
Oh, that's it?
It's an ungloved handshake though, but it's got to be $1,000.
But remember, put in a
Appreciate
note
you.
that they've got to go and pay for their own airfare, or else they'll be bitches about it.
Yeah, well, I think it's part of the overhead. Like, I'll fly out to you as long as it's because flights are super cheap right now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
Actually,
I
let
can
me-
probably just fly out to you, and then I'll come right up to you. I'll take my glove off, and I'll put her there.
Like the built-in.
Like this. Let's do it. And I'll give you one.
Yeah.
You'll get one of these for $1,000, and you feel that grip.
Yeah.
You know I'm
Grip
shaking your
strength
hand,
right
right?
here.
So your $1,000 is not going to nothing. You're getting a hell of a reward there.
But you
Look,
guys
and
touch
now
each other
now
all
we
the
both
time.
have
That's
coronavirus.
different.
Yay!
And that's what makes the $1,000 tier so special. It's a total stranger, and I'm willing to share our coronavirus
Yeah.
just for the $1,000 donation.
Just not COVID-19.
No, COVID 15 through 17, fine. But when we start getting up to 19,
18 and
I might
19,
need
yeah,
to put on
weird.
some little surgical gloves there.
Yeah.
Snap.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Yeah, please, guys, give. So you guys have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow, I guess. And we've got WannaCon, and we've got GarageCon, and I'll probably put up like a recording for that as a separate. So you guys
Sounds
have a
good.
great day.
You too. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.